Hello. Look at 3 people sitting around you. According to the World Health Organization, at least one of you will suffer from some type of mental illness at some point in your life. Now, I'm not a mental health expert, but I can tell you that that's scary stuff. And I believe that mental health is something that we just don't talk about enough. I, in fact, think it's more important than physical health. What I do know for sure is that our surroundings can have a big impact on how we feel about ourselves. For me, that is very much connected to nature. Working to conserve a small piece of the environment, I've learned some valuable steps that have been important in my own mental health journey. I discovered the connection between mental health and nature quite by accident. You see, I'm from the heart of the manufacturing Midwest, Toledo, Ohio. Now, you might not think that there's much from a natural standpoint in Toledo, but you would be wrong. The Nature Conservancy has called where I live one of America's last great places. It's known as the Oak Openings. It's 850,000 acres of sandy soil between Toledo and Detroit. To put that in perspective, that's a little bit larger than the entire state of Rhode Island. It's full of many rare plants and species. It's as rare as the Everglades in Florida, the temperate rainforest of the Pacific Northwest, and the redwood forest. 99% of the Oak Openings is developed, and most people have absolutely no idea that they're actually in it when they are. The remaining 1% rests largely in the hands of private landowners. My husband and I felt compelled to restore our 20 acres of the Oak Openings. Our journey has not been a straight line, but what has surprised me the most is that we actually did not have to plant very many seeds. We just had to disrupt the wrong environment and make room for the right plants to come forward, what was supposed to be there to actually thrive. We think of our property as kind of an environmental zen. We call it a Zenvironment. To us, a Zenvironment is a restoration space for nature, but also for people like me. We're all trying to get ahead as best we can, and we all come up against invasives that can make that very hard. We have to deal with the challenges, and we need to seek help to deal with those along the way. But what we don't have to do is let those challenges hijack our souls. We deserve better than that. We have a right to fight for our own Zenvironment. Nature has taught me that when even 1% remains, there is still hope. And I know that everyone in here has at least 1% of themselves that's special, that's worth nurturing, that's worth restoring, that's worth preserving. Here's a simple summary of how we created our Zenvironment. First, identify the invasives. What's getting in the way of you being the you who you were intended to be? Second, we have to be brave enough to own what we love about ourselves. Nature shares its glory every single day. What gets you excited to be you? Next, we need to welcome a little prescribed disruption in our environment. Change is a good thing. It helps us to grow. What are you willing to change? Fourth, we've got to show up for ourselves every single day. Nature never takes a day off. And finally, when we've done all the hard work, we need to take a step back. And we need to relax and celebrate as amazing magic unfolds all around us. Join me on a Zenvironment journey that could change how you view your life forever. Thank you. Wow.